Hello everyone. So, Oulton Park. I don't really know where to begin with this one. So I think we'll just start at the beginning. So obviously we had a bit of a race on after Donington and the issues we had there to get the engine back ready for Oulton Park. So it was only about 3-week turnaround to get everything sorted. Ian Harrison, Viper Racing, did a fantastic job. Begged and borrowed bits, cylinders, rotary disc valves and all sorts to get us on the grid for Oulton. So that was a great job that he did, and thank you to people who loaned cylinders and disc valves and other bits and pieces to get us back out there. It's very much appreciated. So yeah, we were all prepped and ready for Oulton on the Friday. So it's a Friday test day, Saturday race day. So obviously we had a bit of a big job on the Friday morning to fit the engine. Obviously my dad and I hadn't really fit a Div 1 engine. We took it off before to get it sorted for Donington, but fitting them's a little bit different. So yeah, we managed to sort all that. Had a couple of things that we needed to change, but we got it on. So it's going to be 4 sessions on the Friday to test, 15 minutes each one, so a good amount of track time. And yeah, so we got going. We were trying to solve a couple of things that bugged me at Donington. So there was 2 things which I'll probably show you later on the kart, but the steering to me felt a little bit lazy, a little bit disconnected, and there was a little bit of play. So obviously these karts can have a rack and pinion system on them, and that's a bit new to me, that. So I'm just trying to get used to that really. I'm used to the Ackerman style on a kind of normal short circuit kart. And then the other one being the rear on the superkart is very loose for me, and on the short circuit I do quite like a loose rear. So I kind of like it to be positive on the front, and I can kind of control the oversteer. I quite like that. But actually on the superkart, I'm the total opposite. I don't like the rear stepping out at all. And I much prefer just to be able to control the front with a little bit of understeer. So all we tried basically was just raising the rear wing a little bit. So I've got 3 little holes that we can move to. So we were on the bottom one, which is basically less drag on the rear wing, and we kind of moved up a bit to the next one. So yeah, I think we only got about 3 laps in on the first session. Bearing in mind we're also running in this engine as well, so we had it running on the stand for quite a while, and then finishing it out on track as well. So yeah, I could just feel that actually these changes were good. So I could feel a bit more positive steering with the changes that we'd done. So basically all we'd done there is just tightened everything up. There's like a collar around the rack and pinion that we were just tightening. So that actually, it must like compress and just makes everything a little bit tighter inside. So that's all we did. And then obviously, yeah, the rear wing, just moved that up, and yeah, it was much more positive. I hadn't got the rear wing really stepping out, and I just got this understeer on the front that I could control, so it was much easier for me to control that than it was the rear stepping out, because I think just at these speeds it's just reaction time. If that snaps and you try and catch it, it's just too gone. It's not a gradual snap either. It's like a big loss of rear end. So yeah, it's not preferable really, especially for me. It's not quite like how I like to drive it. So yeah, we were really glad to kind of get that sorted in the early stages. So it was just bugging me a bit. It meant that I couldn't get the confidence in the kart really, so therefore wasn't really pushing it as much as I could. So yeah, that was good to sort, and from there we just cracked on really, just running in the engine, and then the second session came around. We were just gonna build up from there. And we were doing quite well really, just finishing off running the engine in and building up the revs, short shifting and just gaining more and more speed. And then as I came out the last corner in the second session, I felt something just go. It felt like chain, so if anybody's ever had a chain issue or anything like that in a car, you'll know what I bit weird, and it happened on the last corner, so I just literally just rolled straight into the pits and back into the paddock. We just thought it was something to do with the chain, that's all. I thought, you know, come loose, or, you know, just something's moved out of line or something like that. So yeah, we tightened everything back up, went to go back out for the third session, and I was driving down the paddock, just went to switch into neutral for just arriving in the grid area, and it just lurched. As soon as I went for neutral, it lurched, and what's actually happened is it's got stuck in gear, so you can't move either way, and so obviously I couldn't come out in that one. I couldn't basically even start with that. That was just it. So we got it back, had a look at it, me and Harrison had a look at it as well, and what had happened is the bearing in the gearbox had just completely broke down, and then just obviously covered everywhere with aluminium filings and all sorts. So that was actually, unfortunately, our day over, because, you know, you don't know where all those filings have gone, and it was a complete strip down of the engine, clean it and put it back together. So that was really disappointing. But Ian Harrison and John Riley from Red Speed, they got on it for me, which was really helpful. In about 2 or 3 hours they'd got it done. So obviously it meant that we couldn't go back out on the test day, but it meant that we had the engine back together for the race day on the Saturday. So we got it back a bit later in the day, fitting it, just bolted it onto the chassis, and we were driving back home and then come back. So we drove back home. We were in this garage until about midnight on the Saturday, finishing it up. Then got some sleep, up at 4 o'clock to go back to Oulton Park. So we were all very tired. But yeah, got back to the paddock for race day. Fitted it all back on, all got ready for qualifying, and it was going to be one of those days where it's going to be wet or dry and all sorts of that fun stuff. It's not one way or the other. So for qualifying, I can't actually remember if it was dry or wet. I think it was wet. Yeah, it was wet because I ran my new tyres. Yeah, so went out in quali, and it's just a bit mad really, because it's every single kart on track, and there's quite a big difference between, you know, the guys that were up the front in Div 1 to, you know, people just kind of meandering around the track in 250 or 450 or whatever. So trying to get some clear space really hard, and then of course people are off the track, there's yellow flags everywhere, so in those 3 laps I just didn't get anywhere. And then when I was going down the track I could see my temp rising and rising and rising, so I thought, oh, it's probably an airlock in the system. So I came back into the pits and a quick chat with my dad, see what we wanted to do. Went back out, thought, oh, it might just sort itself, but it didn't. The temperature just kept climbing a bit, so I just came straight back in because I thought, I don't want another issue. So that was really disappointing. All that was is the hoses that connect to the heads on the top of the cylinder just quite weren't tight enough, so it was just leaking a little bit of water from there. So that was disappointing, because we just didn't get a clear lap at all, but we still managed to qualify 23rd out of like 50 drivers. We weren't anywhere clear, so I'm sure we could have gone a lot quicker, well into the top 20 I would have hoped. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but you know, it is what it is when you put engine on and off. That was the only problem we had, so hopefully cured that for race 1. Then race 1 was going to be an interesting one. So we had a downpour before that, that then started to dry, and it was just whoever got the correct call on the tyres. We were back and forth to the start finish straight, trying to work out what tyres we wanted to go on and what pressures. But in hindsight, I really wish I had just got on the bike and just cycled around the track a bit, because actually the start-finish straight was probably the wettest part of the track. And unbeknown to us, it really was drying, you know, down the hill, and the rest of kind of the open track where the air and the wind can get to it. It really was drying, but we didn't know that. So we opted for another set of wets. They were a bit more like good inters that I got. We went a bit lower on the pressure because we thought, well, it's going to be drying, so we're going to try and keep them alive. So yeah, we pulled up on the dummy grid, and about everyone but 3 or 4 drivers had gone for wets, and these 3 or 4 had gone for slicks. And I thought, they must know something that we don't. And then obviously we got onto the track, and as soon as I drove out of the pits, I could just see a drying line. I thought, oh no, that's completely the wrong decision. So yeah, definitely in the future, check another part of the circuit, not just one bit, because obviously they're a bigger area than a short circuit, and the track can be very different one side than it is to the other. So yeah, we got going. We got a really good start. Nobody seemed to go for the inside. It was where all the wet was, so we got a good start and just steamed down the inside. I think honestly we must have done about 10 karts in the first corner, so we gained loads of places, and then was just trying to gain the confidence. Obviously I hadn't had a lot of running at all, so just got going, trying to build up braking points, lines, just confidence and going through the corners. And eventually we picked our way through to about 8th on track, which was really good. I was really pleased with that. And then yeah, we're having a couple of battles with a couple of the top drivers in 250 National, which was great. But all the while through the race, I was having shifting problems, which I thought was a bit weird. And coupled with that, I had my seat coming loose, so all the time I was moving back in the seat, which meant I'd only got about half throttle at some points. So I thought my misshifting might be because of that, because I was having to stretch to get the throttle, and then of course trying to stretch and then pull your foot back off the throttle to change gear, quite hard. So I thought it was probably to do with that. But it seemed to clear up a bit in the middle of the race, and it came back towards the end. And so then I came around the first corner at one point. I'll put this clip up in a minute. And just came down the hill. I think I went to change down a gear. The whole gearbox just locked. I got nothing. It was just, I couldn't hear anything. It's just like I couldn't change gear. It was literally just like the mechanism had got stuck. And I actually thought, because my seat had moved, I thought the rod that's there connecting the mechanisms, I thought that had kind of got trapped with the seat. So I thought, oh, what bad luck is that? And of course it was on the last lap as well, so I was just dying to finish a race at some point. But yeah, I just sauntered off into the middle of the track and stopped. So I thought, so I thought that's really gutting, we'll probably just be able to sort it for race 2 and get back out. So obviously got the kart back on the low loader, got it back to the pits, started having a look. Ian came over, had a look, and we took the covers off, because we worked out it wasn't the mechanism at all. That was fine. And as we took the covers off, at least 1 or 2 of the gears just fell apart. They just disintegrated, which was really, really disappointing. So now we've got a gearbox issue. So I'll put a picture up now of what you'll see those gears look like when we took it off. But yeah, really, really disappointing. So that meant our race day was over as well. So we weren't getting back out for race 2. And meant we didn't get a good place finish for the race 1. So top 10 would have been really, really nice. I'd have been really happy with that, considering the conditions, and we're still getting used to everything. But yeah, wasn't to be. So just frustrating, really. And I think just what gets to me a bit is it's not stuff that we've done. Like, it's not that we've not tightened stuff up or messed something up. My dad and I are pretty competent with running all types of karts. So we'd hope it wouldn't be that. But yeah, it's just literally engine component failures at the minute. So I think by the time that we've had all the failures, which is hopefully by now, we'll have basically a brand new engine inside. So yeah, shouldn't be any more failures. So yeah, Ian Harrison of Viperations took that back, get it all sorted, and then yeah, that's basically our year finished now. So I don't really plan to do a lot more. I'll probably do a bit of 100cc stuff now. I've got an engine to run in over there. So one of my CRG SS97s I've got to run in. So I'll probably do that around Christmas time. Usually get out in the cart over the Christmas period. But yeah, apart from that, won't be doing much more till well into next year now. So we just plan to do the BSRC series really. So the championship the round we just did in this championship, we'll be looking to do that whole calendar basically. We'll just concentrate on that, and go from there. So yeah, it's been a kind of disappointing end to the year. It started off really well, obviously at Darley, coming away with the win and just everything running pretty smoothly, to kind of Donington disaster and then the Oulton woes as well. So obviously I've got to get this gearbox fixed, which don't think will be cheap. So yeah, just put the wallet away after Donington, hoping to not get it back out, but I'll have to get it back out again. So yeah, what can you do? Just the way motorsport is sometimes, especially with these engines that are under a lot of stress. But yeah, we'll get it fixed, and hopefully from there we'll be quite reliable into next year. But kind of glad to get the kart sorted. So that was one of my issues really, that I wasn't particularly happy with the kart and how it was handling, and I thought that will definitely keep me back, because I'm quite a particular driver. I like things a certain way, and if they're not, then I know I won't be at my best. So yeah, it was good to get comfortable in the kart. That was pleasing. So at least we've sorted that, and yeah, we'll hopefully sort these reliability issues for next year. So yeah, probably do a video or two when I'm testing. I might even get the X30 out, I'm not sure. I've still got it, it's for sale, but it's not sold yet. So I might even get that back out with the 100cc stuff, go somewhere like Oulton to do it. Yeah, so I'll probably do a video on that sometime. So yeah, we look forward to next year and we see what we can do. Just get on with it really. Cool, thanks guys, hope you keep watching these videos. If you do like them, give them a like and subscribe. I'm going to keep trying to do this thing now, getting a bit more confident with it. So yeah, we'll go from there. Cheers all, catch you later.